A lot of people in the flooring industry like to talk about how cheap their flooring is. Here at Metropolitan, that just doesn't stack up. We could make our floors cheaper, but we won't. Because our values are built around producing clean floors. What does that mean? Take a look into what lies beneath our flooring and you'll see. Clean is a term often talked about in diet or food or environmental standards. It implies known origins, safe handling, and regulated procedures. At Metropolitan, the deeper you look into our values, the more layers you peel back in our processes and standards, the better you'll appreciate clean floors. There are 3 key pillars of what makes for clean floors. 1. True performance standards. 2. Authentic environmental claims. And 3. Ethical sourcing and manufacturing. We'll start with performance standards, the difference between what's claimed and what's real. It's very easy to stamp a number on a product. But what's the fallout when that 25-year finish starts to flake off after 3 years? Or when an exaggerated or false acoustic rating means a whole tower filled with residents who know way too much about what their neighbors are up to? We have one of the industry's most comprehensive quality control programs, with inspectors at the mills monitoring production as it occurs, and more at our domestic warehouses re-inspecting incoming material. It's also why we have independent experts regularly test our finishes, our glues, our acoustic performance, all to ensure that when we put a number on a product, we've earned it. Let's talk about pillar number 2, authentic environmental claims. The flooring business is positively awash in green claims, an alphabet soup of logos and acronyms. Some are legitimate certification programs, some are legal requirements, but some are just greenwash, and others outright fraud. Our Clean Floors philosophy is built on a foundation of truth and transparency, because false claims create instability and confusion for our industry and our customers. Let's zero in on one of the big topics, volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, specifically formaldehyde. VOCs are airborne chemicals that exist all around us. They're present in a lot of manufactured materials. That new car smell is the result of VOCs being released. In the US, state and federal laws actually limit formaldehyde emissions from composite wood products, which includes many types of flooring. If you've seen a box of product with a CARB or TSCA label, that's what it's doing there. In recent years, some flooring producers have been found to be using fake compliance documents, applying them to the wrong products, using certificates they haven't earned, or not using them at all. Companies have been fined and their inventory ordered destroyed. Lawsuits have ensued, and thousands of customers returned products that have been fraudulently or misleadingly labeled. In addition to laws, there are also voluntary certification programs that measure emissions from consumer products. Metro's program is based on CA Section 1350, a California government initiative, and GreenGuard, a private program run by Underwriters Laboratories. Under these programs, Metropolitan's products are tested by independent labs to some of the strictest air quality standards in the world. So when you see these labels on Metropolitan's products, you can be assured they've been honestly earned. Clean floors are made from ethically sourced, legally harvested materials. This applies mostly to the hardwood side of our business. And, like environmental claims, it also includes both legal requirements and voluntary certification programs. For example, the USA, Europe, Australia, and dozens of other countries have laws prohibiting trade in illegally harvested wood. There are also widely respected certification programs which seek to further ensure responsible and sustainable forestry practices. But rules can be bent, and paperwork can be fudged. A current hot-button issue is Russia's Far East, where despite trade being restricted, thousands of acres of mature white oak forests are illegally harvested, transported to China, and falsely documented as Chinese, or European, or US oak. The Chinese mill's customers get superior grade oak flooring at a below market price. But it's the opposite of clean. So when you see low-priced oak hardwood flooring from China on offer, question its source. We do. In fact, the World Wildlife Fund recently held a research mission into the illegal trade in Russian oak. And guess who their industry partner was? If you guessed us, you're right. And it's the same with the certifications. Importers ask for FSC flooring, so willing mills slap an FSC logo onto the product. Or they hand you an FSC certificate for a factory that implies the flooring itself is certified, when there's no chain of custody, no legitimate certification, no authenticated paper trail. It's just a stamp on a box or a meaningless piece of paper. At Metropolitan, we protect our customers with one of the most thorough, hands-on, end-to-end compliance programs in the industry, with staff tracking inputs from forest to finishing line to ensure compliance at every stage. Just how solid is our compliance program? So solid that our compliance officer routinely represents the flooring industry in engagements with U.S. and Canadian government agencies to help shape emissions policies. Yep, solid. Let's circle back to our concept of clean floors. When we say clean floors, we mean that we've done our homework to make sure what we're saying is true and that our labels and numbers are backed by real, authenticated data. We sweat the details, do the legwork, and get independent experts to test and verify. Doesn't all of this come at a cost? Of course it does. But that's the price of doing it right. That's the value of clean flooring. And that's the value of doing business with Metropolitan.